another episode of Questlog. This is episode 36, and you might be wondering why I'm alone. Normally, Brian, Luke, Kat, Aaron, they'd all be here. This week we ran a little bit shorter. It was just Brian and I, and we ran into some technical difficulties at the start of the show. So, what's going to happen here is I'm just going to eventually stop talking, and the show's gonna fade in as if nothing happened. And I believe Brian was talking about Persona 5 at the time. We were catching up on that, so look forward to that. And I apologize for botching the intro this week. Shout out to Rob in the chat, who helped us out by pointing out that my voice was all kinds of messed up. And yeah, hopefully we have that fixed now, and you can enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Persona 5, get it now. Get it while it's
I'm
hot.
into it.
It'll be coming up when we do our big wrap up for sure.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the game that I have been putting over 100 hours into, and doing so once again, and it is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. They just released the Master Trials, I believe it's called. The Master Trials DLC, the first DLC pack that's part of their part of the season pass that they've released. So far, I haven't really got into all the extra armor sets and things like that you can collect. I've just been trying the Trial of the Sword challenge, and boy, it is a challenge in every sense of the word. It is not easy.
This is the going in there with no armor kind of.
Yeah, so
Link.
There isn't really I don't want to say that there's spoilers for this. It's pretty straightforward. There's 45 rooms, challenge rooms that you go through. It's unlike they're not as rigid as the combat trials shrines that you have encountered throughout the game. There's more of an environment. There's woodland areas. There's some that are water-based, fire. There's a bunch of different scenarios.
This is weird what I'm seeing on the stream here. It looks like you're indoors.
Yeah, it's like.
But there's trees and water.
They're okay. They're almost like the shrines. They're almost like simulation rooms. Is what
you're in the Matrix.
Like. Yeah. Yep. And
load underground floor 10, please.
Yep, that's basically what we've got here. The ones I'm in right now in the stream, everything's super dark. You can't really see. There's just fire and torches to see everything, and it's pitch black. And like right here, I didn't really know what I was fighting. I was pretty sure it was one of the big Hinox giant things, and so I started firing these fire arrows at it to check, and yup, that's definitely what it is. So I have to fight this thing in the dark, and it was a challenging fight. And this is all just stuff that I've scavenged throughout the different floors up until this point. So none of your gear comes through, none of your food, none of that stuff. You have to find that all.
It seems pretty good though.
Yup. It's been the most challenging thing in the game for me so far, and it's interesting. It's more interesting than just like, here's a very hard enemy, kill it. It's different. Each room is different enough to where it's keeping me engaged with it. Like there was a series of rooms where the floor was all like wind coming up, so you could use your paraglider like indefinitely.
Oh, yeah.
You could just kind of like fly around all of these different rooms. It was pretty neat. The last series of challenges, I want to say each room is in a 5-room sequence. It's 5 rooms, and then you get to kind of like a little haven where there's some treasure and there's a spot to cook some things. You'll find a few different cooking ingredients around, and maybe like a piece of armor or something. Those are a very welcome relief, because you have to get yourself healed up, try to make enough food to last you through the next 5 rooms.
Sounds pretty intense.
It's very intense, and it is also very frustrating. Today I made it to the very last room on my 3rd attempt through, so I died twice before and had to start over. made it to the last room, missed a very important parry against a very difficult enemy. I won't spoil what it is, but you could probably guess if you played enough of the game, and died. And I haven't tried it. I haven't brought myself to try it again because it's hard just getting there. So we'll see. I'm back into it. I want to see what the end thing is. You're powering up your master sword. That's the goal of these trials. So
Gotcha.
it's already a very powerful weapon, but this is unlocking its. They keep calling it its full splendor. I don't know if it's just a weird translation thing.
Sounds
or,
magnificent.
Yeah, I have to unlock its splendor. Its true splendor. So get it while it's hot. There's other stuff to do too. You can find these different armor sets and items from previous Legend of Zelda games, like Majora's Mask. You can get Tingle's outfit. There's a Phantom armor set from the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks games.
Can you get the little talking hat from Minish Cap?
Nope, no. Is it Eslo?
Good lord.
Eslo?
That sounds right.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
It has.
But yeah, no, I don't think Minish Cap got its fair shake.
I don't think so either.
It was a decent little game. No pun intended.
So are you pleased?
Are
you satisfied with the DLC?
Yes, but I'm also probably a very easy sell. You know?
Right.
I've already sunk enough time into it to get more than my money's worth out of it. So
what is it? $20 for this, and there's another upcoming one as well.
Yeah, the one coming later this year is more story driven. It's going to include I think a new dungeon, they said, and it seems to focus on the champions that you meet throughout the game. So
okay.
It sounds like it'll be kind of like a prequel of sorts, maybe before the cataclysmic events that take place. But yeah, I think for $20 that's not bad, you know.
Yeah, it seems all right.
I'm gonna get probably a few days worth of content out of this, so $10 it's not terrible. The thing that I hope we kind of talked about this earlier in the week is that this does well enough to convince them to keep putting out more of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could see them doing another season pass next year and, you know, cranking out 2 or 3 more updates and more content and things like that. They've done some quality of life stuff and things that are just kind of fun. Like your map, you can turn on this mode where it shows a walkthrough of your every step you've taken in the game and every time you've died, and you can play it like and watch the map kind of draw out where you've explored and where you've died and stuff.
Right.
Kind of
little flashes where you died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a lot of flashes on my map, by the way, like a lot. But yeah, I mean, just whatever, man. This feels like one of those just canvases that they can keep adding to. You can keep expanding this out. And as somebody who's been very starved for new Zelda stuff for years, I will take that with open arms. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not like you have anything else to play on your Switch.
That one cuts a little deep there, Brian. Yeah,
Nintendo, please.
I wish Luke were here. He could at least tell us about Mighty Gunvolt Burst, which is a Mega Man clone that he picked up this week. We'll have to find out from him next week how he's been liking that. But
I hear good things.
Yeah, I read a review that said it was the Mega Man game that Mighty Number 9 was supposed to be. So
yeah, I didn't hear good things about that one.
Yeah, me either. That seemed to kind of fall short for a lot of people, so this one seems to do a lot of that right. They seem to have focused on the kind of like 8-bit, but it's kind of 16-bit. It's that kind of weird in-between trickery.
Right.
But it's kind of more of the 8-bit style Mega Man game.
Kind of like the one you played, the Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Is it that kind of?
I think so. Yep.
That kind of vibe.
Yep. Man, I dabbled with Shovel Knight just because. I guess we can transition into this.
You finished it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I played. I meant I dabbled with it
recently
you mean
this
again.
Week. Okay.
Yeah, I picked it up. I loaded up this week again because I picked up a new controller.
Don't be so modest.
Yeah, no, yeah. I played.
Dabble.
I played through. I've got 2 playthroughs on the main quest, and I've done most of the Plague Knight story, and I completed the Spectre Knight story. So yeah, I've played a lot of Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried it again because I picked me up one of these here. This is a 8-bit dough NES 30 Pro Bluetooth controller, and it's really neat. I was gonna pick one of these up like a year ago because it pairs with iOS, and I really wanted an iOS controller for some of the games that are available on there. They recently updated the firmware on this, and now it's compatible with the Switch. So the Switch sees it just like a Pro controller. It's super thin, it's super lightweight, really easy to just throw in my Switch case and take to work. I was sitting at work with the Switch on my kickstand and playing Zelda. Like, that was pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the Joy-Cons. They're not very comfortable, so this is a little bit better for on the go. I mean, compared to the Pro controller, it's a little bit more reasonable, to bring this little guy along.
Right, you can tuck it inside the case with the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have for an extra Mario Kart controller. Now with the Pro controller, this and the two Joy-Cons, I can do 4-player Mario Kart in my house. This only set me back about $40, so
seems like a good deal.
Rob says, "How's the D-pad?" It feels identical to the original NES controller D-pad, so very good.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah, I mean, they really nailed the look and feel of this thing. It looks just like like what a modern NES controller you would think looks like, right down to the feel of it. It's got that kind of coating on it. It's a little bit rough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like this thing a lot. The shoulder buttons are a little weird because they are side by side and not on top of each other. So there's not a trigger feeling one. So that can get a little bit awkward, especially in Zelda, when I'm trying to remember which one draws my bow, which one pulls out a bomb, how do I throw a bomb. So like sometimes that gets a little bit wonky, but overall, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think it's great. The only downside is when I want to use it on my Switch, I have to update it to the latest firmware. Doing that removes iOS support. So it still works on Mac OS, Android, PC, and the Switch, but I lose iPhone support.
Not at the same time.
Not all at the same time.
Not all at the same time. I got
If I want to use it on my iPhone, I got to plug it into a PC, downgrade the firmware back to a legacy version, and then I can use it on my phone, but not on my Switch. So I have a feeling this is just going to become a Switch controller. I'm probably not going to use it on my phone very much, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, this is
doing the job for me.
That's a lot of juggling to do.
Mm-hmm. It's nice that it can be done. Like, if I know I'm not going to have the Switch, or if there's something I really, really want to play on my phone, I can just, take 5 minutes and swap the firmware. But
don't want to do it every day.
It would be nice if that was customizable. Like, if I could say, "Oh, I don't have an Android phone, so uncheck Android support and slot in iOS." But fortunately, it doesn't work that way.
Nintendo going with Bluetooth. That's been great. Like, my new computer, I paired my Pro controller from the Switch with it, just in just a couple of seconds. I paired my Pro controller with my Android phone, similarly. Mm-hmm. That was another one of those very surreal things where it's like, I've got a Switch, but I'm at work with the Pro controller synced with my phone using an emulator to play Earthbound because there's no virtual console. Like, I would gladly give Nintendo, $10 for a nice copy of Earthbound I can take with me on my Switch, but instead I've got this jank ass, backwards thing I'm taking with me on my phone, and the aspect ratio is not right. It's
And then
Nintendo, please.
Later on in the week, I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on my iPhone because Sega released a bunch of their original Genesis games for iOS for free, and I'm using a NES lookalike controller to play Sonic, and we're doing the whole couch pass it back and forth on death thing in the break room on an iPhone and not on
I forgot how challenging those old platformers were. I hadn't played Sonic in a while, and I'd run and jump and land on one of the spiky enemies, and you'd be like, "Ah, idiot!" And you take the controller and do the same thing. And it's like, yeah, we're good at this. We're pros.
Those games are cheap, and
Yeah.
you forget that they kind of had to be. That was the way you stretched out the gameplay sessions.
Yeah.
You play the same levels over and over again, have to master them and memorize where to do all the jumps, where to stop.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Games weren't cheaper back then. They were still $50,
Yeah.
$60.
Yep. Had to get your time out of them. Yeah, it is still disappointing though that we've got this handheld console that's so powerful, and yet we have to go through all these kind of crazy, stupid backwards ways to play Nintendo games mobily. Just Nintendo, please. Virtual console, please. Sometime in the near future, that needs to happen.
Yeah, just how tight-lipped they've been that makes me a little nervous that they haven't said anything.
No, I keep hearing people say like, "Oh, by holiday, we're gonna hear something for sure," and I've just lost all faith in that. I'm pretty confident that if the Virtual Console was coming anytime soon, we'd have heard about it, and we'd have had some price points or some reasoning or something. Like, you would think they'd get out there and just say like, "We are trying so hard to make this make sense for you because we don't want you to have to buy a bunch of games again that you've already paid for." Something, And
it'd be nice, because I love the hardware, but I'm kind of hurting for stuff to do with my Switch.
Yeah. Yep. You can only play so much Zelda. I don't expect everybody to toss 120 plus hours at that game.
Right.
Mario Kart is fun with friends in short periods of time, but I'm not playing it alone. I'm not playing it by myself. I'm not trying to beat my times and that kind of stuff. It's just not there. There's some good indie games out there. I heard Cave Story is now on the Switch through the eShop, which is a great game.
It was a decent game.
Around for 6
a lot of years,
7 years now or something. So it's just it's a lot of this stuff is stuff that I've already been playing through Steam or through
the
Xbox.
Thumper would be great on the Switch, but I've already got Thumper on the PS4. So.
Right. So another $20 just to have it on the go.
Yeah, it's a hard sell.
Yeah. It's too bad. It's too bad. Hopefully we'll hear some more news about that soon, but I'm not holding my breath anymore.
Well, we've got Mario Odyssey on October 27th, so...
There you go.
Hype.
Hype indeed. That game looks just delightful, so...
Yeah, it does.
I'm holding out for that. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Let's undo that. I know what I'm doing here. It's fine. Stardew Valley, Brian. You played some of that.
Yeah, I did.
On one of the only consoles that works for you right now.
Yep, on the old PS4. That's a comfort game for me. And I don't know, things were stressful, and I think Persona had just beaten me up. I'm just like, I'm just gonna go be a pretend farmer in a quaint little village where everything makes sense.
I understand the appeal greatly. Yeah.
I've been playing that before I go to bed all week. It's the thing where it's like, okay, just one more night, and then there's always something at the end of the stick to look forward to. So I'm like, okay, well, my crops will be ready tomorrow, so one more night, and then I'm done for sure. And
I really should check out the mine, and
Exactly. It's raining, so I'm going to spend the day in the mine, and then it's 1:45, and I've got a line of drool going from my chin down to the controller. It's like, okay, I'm going to turn the TV off now.
Yep, I've been there before. Not with Stardew. I did play this for a while. I had kind of a similar thing. I think I was burnout on Heroes, and I just couldn't bring myself to lose always anymore. And
it's at the opposite end of the spectrum from that. It's as challenging as you want it to be, but it's not gonna kick your ass and make you feel bad.
Yep, all the stuff to do will always be there.
Yeah,
you don't really miss anything. You just
super comforting for me.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful. It's it's everything that you want from that 16-bit era of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Just all wrapped up real nice. Did I see that there was a Harvest Moon game announced that looks basically exactly like Stardew Valley?
Yep.
I don't fault them for that. That's smart, you know.
No, I mean,
It's where they're drawing their inspiration from in the beginning, so you'd expect that to happen
gotta
eventually. But
gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Stardew's coming to the Switch too, eventually here,
Hmm.
pretty soon.
I think I read that multiplayer was going to be there first.
I think they said
I
that.
may have made that up.
I think they came out and
Or
squashed that and said not first.
gotcha.
It'll be there, but not first. So, yeah, I'll probably pick that up. That seems like a good thing to have for on the go.
Yeah, it seems perfect for that.
Darkest Dungeon as well. Hearing that that's coming now too, or heard
Please.
a non. How did they say that? It was a recent AMA. They kind of hinted
Yeah.
that it was probably going to be coming to the Switch.
You're like, this is a hopeful, non-committal, positive response.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think Hollow Knight's going to be there soon. So you're gonna get into that, right?
For sure. Yeah, I've been waiting. I could play it right now through Steam, but I've been waiting because I want to play it on the Switch. It seems perfect for that.
It's a great one of those.
Mm-hmm. The whole look and feel of it. I watched I think it was a Giant Bomb first look,
Hmm.
or
Quick look.
whatever they do.
Yep.
Yeah, and that game just looks right up my alley. The whole art style and
Yeah.
everything. It's very cool.
The soundtrack is great too.
Yeah, get some headphones. Spend 30 minutes diving through Bugland. I could get into that. Well, I did. We talked a little bit about this last week, I think, but the both of us got back into Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, just kind of randomly. It was on sale on Steam, and you acquired it, and we're talking about it, and I'm like, man, I gotta reinstall that. That game is so good.
Yep,
And so
I
I
had
did.
never played it. I hadn't played any Assassin's Creed since the first one. I played the first one on the Xbox 360. Got a 980 out of 100 or out of 1,000 gamer score on it. I missed some innocuous, little conversation tidbit in the lab. Achievements.
Yep. Yep.
Usually I didn't care, but every now and again I'd be like, okay, this game I'm gonna get 1,000 on this game. I got all the flags, Tyler.
That is
I got all
impressive.
billion flags.
I think I started down that road and never finished
Oh,
it.
it's madness.
Because it was, total madness. And in that game, they were super hard to see, too. Like, they had kind of a weird, glitchy outline, but, like, we're not playing in 4K here. This was, back on the 360, and I remember looking hard for those things, and even with a map, it was not easy to find them.
I printed up maps, and I was Xing out the flags as I found them. Like, I was all in on this.
I think I did that in 2.
Oh, what a loser.
Might have been the one that I tried to 100%. I don't remember, but yeah, just there was like feathers or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway, 4 is cool. Like, one of the things the Assassin's Creed games have kind of struggled with for me is the story is so out there. They're trying to thread together so many different narratives that,
And it's at its worst when it takes itself seriously. Like 4 is like, oh, you're a software developer and you're using the DNA to go into the memories and try to pick fun times out of the memories. This guy was a pirate. It's like, okay, perfect. That's perfect.
it's just insane enough to, not really make a ton of sense, but
yep,
be
just
right.
the right amount of dumb.
Yeah, I feel like the part of the reason that it gets kind of lost sometimes is they just jump around a lot. You jump from being the software developer to you're Edward Kenway and you're a pirate, and then you'll do something and then it goes to switch to the next mission, and sometimes between like getting from A to B, you don't really understand how much time has passed. Like another cutscene will show up and it'll be in a totally different place, and you're trying to like piece together, okay, how much time has it been? A couple days? Has it been a couple weeks? Like, they lose me a lot on that kind of stuff. A lot of the secondary characters are forgettable, but this game seems to do a pretty good job. There are other, infamous pirates that you're banding together with, and
yeah, you guys were making fun of me because like the first time I went to quit the game, I was like, okay, I'll hit escape and I'll exit the Animus, and it was like, Oh, I'm in an office now. That's right. I'd forgotten that I was a dude in an office. I'm just like, I'm going to walk around the office and check out the vending machines and the bathrooms. And,
Seems like a really
the
cool
office
place
is
to
really,
work.
yeah, it's just like, this is good career simulator 2017. I'm entertained and I'm sad
You
now.
you you actually read through the in-game
Yeah, my
like
employee handbook.
employee handbook.
Welcome to Abstergo.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
We work hard, we play hard.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of an NDA, so you actually weren't supposed to talk about a lot of that stuff, Brian. I don't know if your supervisor is going to really like that.
No,
So,
no one's watching. We'll put it here on Twitch where it's safe.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, Black Flag is just a lot of fun. The moment to moment gameplay is something that I can do for a very long time and not get bored with. You can just decide to open fire on random ships that are near you and take them over and board them and steal all of their stuff and then sink the ship. And I think in a game, most of the Assassin's Creed games try to paint you as, this noble, the assassins being this noble order of, people who just kill the people that should be killed.
Right.
And this one, you're not
Yeah, this guy's like,
necessarily
how
a
am I
good
going to
guy.
get rich? I want to get rich. Can I get rich?
Yeah, can I please stop living a shitty life? And I'd like to eat food that doesn't make me sick, and you know, have walls that the wind and weather doesn't come through, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all he's looking for in life. And so he starts taking it, and he's pretty good at it. And I like
It,
that. It's fun.
it's been a lot of years since I played Assassin's Creed, but it felt immediately familiar. Like, as soon as I got into my first combat, I'm just like, I remember what this feels like. I remember exactly what this feels like. And with the climbing up the walls and the running and jumping from roof to roof, kind of surprised at how much that didn't feel different to me.
I think
Like,
it's
the
good.
core
Yeah,
gameplay feels the same.
I think it's good that you felt like familiar with it. And I think I was saying earlier that I think if you had played each one, in sequence, you'd have seen kind of the
It's little,
evolution, and yeah,
right, incremental changes.
and
Yeah.
or if you, especially if you were to go back to the first one, it they've definitely tightened up a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was some real, you had to really get your angles right to get Altair to move the right way, and to counter things
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. Um, they've there's a lot more forgiveness built into the later games, where, not be on that exact
Kind of
right
slop your
angle.
way through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they've put a lot of like you can hop through trees and you can like kind of scuffle across rooftops, and there's other little things to kind of
Skyrim your way up a mountain. Yeah.
Skyrim your way up the mountain. That's right. Yeah. I don't know. The sailing, everything's real solid. It's just, it's
Yeah.
real good. It's a
Yeah,
real good game.
it's nice looking. I haven't gotten into. I just got my boat, so I haven't gotten to do a whole lot of sailing. So I'm still. I think I did like one sailing mission, and I'm still disoriented.
Gotcha.
But I'll get my sea legs.
Yeah,
Lols.
they give you some time to just kind of explore and check stuff out. And there's as much as you want to put into it, there's a lot of different upgrades that you can buy and things to
Yeah,
customize. And
I like customization, and give me a map full of icons, and I can be happy for a long time.
hmm yeah, well, once you get that all reinstalled and
Yeah,
set
just got to
back up,
re-download it.
re-download that 40, 50 gig
Gotta,
file, and you'll be right as rain.
yep, got to sign into my Uplay.
Yeah, Uplay,
It's all right.
and all of those different, Origin and basically
Well,
every other distribution service gets kind of a bad rap.
yeah, I'm a bad person because I think that it's bad that Steam has a monopoly. I don't think Steam should have all the PC games, but I don't want to go anywhere else for my games. I'm just like, that's not on Steam. No, never mind. I want everything on Steam, please.
Like once you invested in one of them, now you
Yeah.
want everything to be there. Yeah. Yeah, and it goes back to that whole exclusivity thing too. It's like, ooh, I don't want that. I don't want there to be exclusive things out there, but at the same time, we kind of ask for those things because we
Hmm.
want people to have a reason to, to support the thing that I support.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Competition is good. Rob's right.
Yep, I've bought
I'm
some
just
things through Good Old Games. You know,
Yeah, me
I've
too.
got some Uplay games. It's fine. I don't mind having an extra application to launch things from the computer. The part where it
Yeah.
gets hairy is when it's like, and you have to have this separate account, and they want you to have their two-factor authentication, and
You're
they
right.
want you to, you know, like you can
Having different
only.
formats of names and passwords and different services.
Yup, that's where it starts to get hairy. So it's fine. First world problems, right? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
there's.
Woe is me.
Woe is me. I have to remember an extra password. Oh my goodness. What shall I do? It's fine. Well, I think it's going to wrap up for what we have been playing. Let's get into
I gotta say,
some
before you get into some,
yes.
we played a lot of Heroes this week.
We did do
The
that.
others aren't here, so we can talk
Yeah,
about
we can.
Heroes for a minute.
Sure. I don't have any footage, so I'm just going to let you be
Oh,
soothed by my expert sailing in Black Flag. Talk about
it was bad.
Yeah, yeah. We play a lot of Heroes, and we got our asses handed to us in a lot of Heroes of the Storm matches. Although, I should say that it's a celebration. In Heroes of the Storm right now, they're doing the
It is.
Suns Out, Guns Out event, and all of the loot boxes have a chance to include some fun summery skins.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing they do with Overwatch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy about that, but
I will go ahead and say that I am not crazy about it.
yeah,
And I'll tell you why. Because back when Heroes 2.0 was announced, they flat out said, hey, guys, cool thing about the way we're doing loot boxes is that they roll the contents of, what's in them when you open them, not
right.
when you earn them. I was like, sweet, that means we can bank loot boxes, and then when a cool event comes out, we can open up all of the boxes, and they'll have the stuff that's in the loot table right now. Well, what they
Yeah, these are
did,
new kinds of chests, though, Tyler. These
what
are
they,
completely different chests.
yeah, what they did to make that not work is they just said, well, all of the loot boxes that you earn during this event are special loot chests that have their own loot table. Doesn't include all of the stuff that we just added,
Yeah,
that only include, these are the only ones that include these summer skins and stuff. And when the events over, those go away and don't get added to the proper loot table.
and they
That
can be
feels good.
crafted, and there's nothing I'm in love with in this event, so it's not a big deal. But that's beside the point.
Right.
You'd mentioned when Halloween comes around, it's going to feel bad, and I agree.
Yep, that's the big bummer for me is I love all of that stuff. Um, they have some really good skins that already exist in the game that came out last year that they've already tucked away in anticipation for Halloween. You can't get them right now. So,
That said, I got the Tychus skin with the Super Soaker and that big old
and the butt
donger.
cheeks and his big old
Yeah.
baseball that he's hiding in his speedo. Yeah,
So,
I've got a picture of it on the stream right
yeah.
now. It's real good.
You got a surfboard. I'm a little jealous.
I
Just
did
because that's super ridiculous.
I did open a surfboard mount. It is really ridiculous. I wonder if I can find. There we go. There's yep, like an actual little wave shows up underneath of it, and they ride it all around the map. It's really good. Mine has a shark bite out of it and a little murky symbol. It's really good. So I did get lucky, but I did have to re-roll a bunch of boxes and dump a bunch of gold into making getting a chance at that. So it's working as intended.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
It's fine. And they announced Stukov,
yes,
the next
Alexei
hero,
Stukov is going to be the
another
next
healer,
hero.
another support.
He's a Zerg support. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real different.
his heals have this kind of like infectious quality where they bounce to nearby heroes, and he's got a dot that goes on enemy heroes that does the same thing where it sort of spreads to nearby enemies.
Brian, I didn't see his skin that they're launching him with. It's
Yeah, he's
like
got
a
like a black heart
pirate
looking.
octopus thing going on. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. I'm on board with that. I'll stick him on a surfboard. That'll be fine.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's respectful.
he's got one of his ultimates is hilarious. It's called Massive Shove, and he uses his crazy infected arm to just push somebody. It's a skill shot, and he shoots it straight out, and it will push them for as long as there is room to push them. So it just goes indefinitely.
Yep. Until they hit something.
Until they hit something. They show like a shot of somebody going from like mid lane in the middle
all
of
the way
the map,
back to the core.
all the way back to behind their core, and that just made my day. I laughed so hard when I saw that. So
yeah, that's neat. It's also like you're rooting yourself while that happens too. So
yep, he's got his E ability is like that too. He can like select an area and root whoever's there and silence them, but he is also rooted while that happens. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm definitely gonna pick him up. It's fitting all of the things that I like about this game. It's got enough wackiness to just be fun, and he looks cool, you know.
I like my supports, so
he's gonna be a Russian guy with a monster arm, so I'm into that. There's your Heroes Minute.
Yep.
If we manage to find the time to record another episode of Nexus Frenzy, we can jump into that a little bit more too and talk about that. But that is on the to-do list. We're trying here, guys. Anyway, let's get into some quick news here, shall we? We shall.
We shall.
Nintendo Switch released a new update, a system update. There's not really much there that is super exciting. You can register channels to receive news for specific games now. There is 6 new Splatoon characters to choose from for your icons. I think one of the bigger features is that you can find your controllers. You can basically set them to vibrate, almost like a Find My Phone feature, but this is for your Switch Joy-Cons and controllers. So it'll just
seems wise.
Make them vibrate until you find them. That's kind of neat. You can make the headphones louder, I think. They added the ability to connect a USB keyboard to the dock. That I found pretty interesting. So anytime a keyboard shows up on the screen, you'll be able to use a USB keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are in my situation, like right here. I could,
right, that
plug
works
my
for
keyboard
you.
in. Yeah, because I keep my Switch right by my monitor, but I don't know how many people are going to have just a keyboard sitting around hanging out.
Why not? Why not? I'll never use it, but thanks. Thanks anyway.
It just makes me wonder, like, it gives me a little bit of hope that maybe they're like, hey, in the next update, we're just going to put a fucking web browser on it for you so you can actually, browse the web if you'd like.
You should not have hope, Tyler.
Sweet summer child. Yes, I know. It's silly. I don't know, man. What else they got here? They've got, you can invert some colors. I mean, it's real kind of just bland stuff. But hey, it's an update. They're making changes, so get your system update now.
They didn't have Virtual Console in this update?
Turns out no. Turns out nope, they did not include the Virtual Console in that one.
That's disappointing.
This is a heavy Nintendo week. We also learned about the SNES Classic.
Right.
Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic.
We all expected.
Yep. It was rumored a little while back, finally confirmed. Dropping pretty soon, too. I think pre-orders are available now.
Yeah, I think it's September it's coming.
Yeah.
September 29th, yep.
Here's the deal. They had shitty supply for the NES Classic. They had shitty supply for the Switch. They have shitty supply for their Amiibos.
This is
Do you
going to be
have
different.
any confidence that this thing is going to be available at all in any capacity if you didn't pre-order it?
People are already selling on eBay like $500 guaranteed you're going to get one.
it makes me want to blow my brains out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Like,
a little
it
bit.
makes me so angry.
A little bit.
They made them $80 this time. They come with 2 controllers. The lineup is phenomenal. Like
Yeah, it is a real
the
strong lineup.
the games. Let me just take a look at these games real quick here. You're gonna get Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, F-Zero, Super Metroid, Street Fighter 2, Super Punch-Out, Castlevania 4,
Yep.
Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, which was 8 different Kirby games, Final Fantasy 3, Kirby's Dream Course, which was kind of like a Marble Madness style Kirby game. It's real weird. Star Fox, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario RPG, Contra 3, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and Star Fox 2, which was unreleased previously. That's killer.
Yep. That's worth the $80 price tag.
And I would gladly pay $80 on the Nintendo eShop to put all of that into my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
like that I would.
Yep, I don't particularly want to be tied to my TV in this 5-foot cable.
Nope. That is a cool thing. I fully support them making that. I think that's a rad thing for
as a toy,
people to have.
like as a collector's item, I'd love to have a tiny Nintendo and tiny Super Nintendo.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yep.
I don't want this to be like, well, there's no virtual console, but you know what? Just go and buy one of these. It's cool. We got you.
And then I keep hearing that from people too. They're like, oh, well, once these are gone, once they've sold through these, then that's when we'll hear about the virtual console. I'm like, this is not a replacement for that, though.
Yeah.
even if I bought one of these to have, like you said, as a collector's item, as just kind of a cool thing to have in my living room, something for my daughter to use, I'd still want to have those games available to me on the brand new Nintendo console that I bought this year. It just blows my mind that that's not available.
That is frustrating, having the Switch and sitting there.
Yep.
Feeling a little neglected.
And it's also, I mean, usually when I have a brand new console, I'm not in that mindset of I wish I could play all the old games on it. Like when they announced the backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, I was like, oh, okay, cool, neat. I'm glad that that's available, but I want new games to care about. But with this Nintendo thing, I'm like, I care about the new games, but I really, really, really want the old games too.
Well, and it's because you can take them with you, and you can just hit the power button, and
this portability thing changes everything. That's why I think this console is so different and so cool, and yet more frustrated by it than I think anything else.
Yep.
Just because it has all of this potential, and it doesn't seem like it's that hard. I mean, if people can hack together emulators to run on random Android phones and iPhones and stuff, I know that it's not that hard to get it working on.
That's the other thing. I can be playing any of these games at my computer, in 5 minutes if I want to.
Yep.
I'd like to give Nintendo money.
Yeah,
please.
We kept saying that all week. It's just Nintendo is very bad at taking people's money.
Yeah.
Or they're very good at leaving money on the table, I guess, is the other way to say that. Yeah, Rob in the chat says SNES 9X.
Yep.
That is not hard.
I was running it on my phone, and I don't know, it just kind of dawned on me. I'm just like, this is garbage. Like I have to run the simulator. Like I bought the Nintendo console.
Yeah.
And then I've got to download an emulator to play the games I want to play.
It's a bummer. It's a massive bummer. But
do you think they keep this going with? They can't really do a N64. Can they?
Can't they? Maybe they can.
Maybe it's my bias, but how many games are we going to want to resurrect from the N64?
GoldenEye, Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. What do you got? You got Wave Race. You
That's a
got
that's a killer lineup for the Super Nintendo. Like we can't string together 20 N64 games that
I could
come anywhere near
probably
this list.
I could
Could you
probably
though?
get you close. I could probably get you close to 20 if I had some time to sit down and hash this out.
That's gonna approach that Super Nintendo list?
Uh, Look, you don't have the same reverence for the 64 that I do. Like
No,
that
it was the
was
worst console I'd ever owned until the Xbox One came along.
I have lots of fond memories of playing Mario Kart 64 and GoldenEye and
I don't think those
yeah.
aged as well. I don't think that era aged as well as the Super Nintendo either.
You're telling me that if you saw Nintendo set out N64 Classic and it came with four different controllers, they sold it for $120. You don't think people would eat that up if it had GoldenEye and all those old games that they played with their friends?
I
I
think they'd
think it would
regret it.
sell really well, just like
Would
the
it
rest of
though?
these. I think it would. I think most people have a little bit more reverence for
Mm,
that system than you
all
do.
right. All right.
Mario 64, man, come on, that's a
Yeah, I
fun
loved
game.
Mario 64. I loved Paper Mario.
Paper Mario, there. See, you're getting there. Star Fox 64 was a good game.
No.
It was. It was fun. I'm with you. I
You're
wouldn't.
having
I
you're having fun
wouldn't.
wrong.
I wouldn't go out and buy it, but I think a lot of people would. Again, I just want to play this shit on my
Yeah.
Switch. Can I please just get it
Yeah.
on my Switch? Oh, okay. I could beat that horse all day. um, I think that's gonna wrap it up for the news. We're kind of shorter than normal this week, just the two of us here.
Yeah,
Uh,
the people that played the new games aren't here.
we'll hopefully catch up
Uh,
with most of them next week.
Luke played the fake Mega Man game, and my wife played Everyone's Gone to the Rapture.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That sounds good. That sounds like something I'd be into.
it's a walking simulator. It's a Firewatch Gone Home
Ah,
type
okay.
game.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I'm always interested in those. Those are neat.
Yeah,
It's Canada, or it was Canada Day. Yesterday was Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, everyone in
yeah.
Canada.
The fireworks finally stopped.
Yeah, we live pretty darn close to Canada, so we get to celebrate with them, and they get to celebrate with us on the 4th. So
Yes,
a big, just a big week-long party.
it's gonna be a noisy week.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this week. Let me get some outro music going here. Big thank you to everybody who showed up in the chat room today. Thank you guys very much over at twitch.tv/questlogcast. You can find our show every week on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, uh, wherever. Google Play Music, it's up there too. You can get it right from questlogcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at questlogcast. You can email the show, mail@questlogcast, if you've got something that you want to talk about. Do you have a thing that Nintendo's doing that's bugging you? Tell us about it, because we'd love to hear it. mail@questlogcast.com. That's going to do it for me, man.
Sponsor us, Nintendo.
Sponsor us, Nintendo. Give us your money so we can give you ours. We'll just circle it around. It'll be fine. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Take care, everyone. Have a great, safe holiday, and we will catch you next week.
Talk to you next week.